Welcome back to No Impulse Control. I am Justin,
And I am Jasmine.
and it's Valentine's week, y'all.
Yay.
If you've got that person,
Or people.
no, happy early Valentine or people, but
Yeah.
happy early Valentine's Day to everybody that is listening. If you don't have those people, let me know, and I'll be a friend. We'll have a friends Valentine's thing.
Palentines.
Palentines. I knew there was a word and I just couldn't think of it.
Called Palentines. Yeah.
Palentine. I'll be your pal.
Are we gonna? Okay.
Weird. We'll be your pals.
Yeah, I was gonna say. I was like, awesome. I'll just screw myself, I guess.
Just stay out of
Are
this,
we gonna?
okay?
Are we gonna celebrate Palentine's Day this year, Justin?
Depends on planning and scheduling.
We'll cook each other a steak dinner.
Dude, I love steak. I would love to have a steak.
Can I cook you a steak? Hold on, Palentine's. I'll cook you a steak dinner. You make me mashed potatoes because I can't have steak.
Well, yes, we'll figure this out.
We can do like our significant others can come too, I suppose. But
yeah, that's it.
Yeah, wow.
I mean,
maybe we could do it in the horror movie.
We could do Palentine's on a different day.
Yeah, it's supposed to be the 13th
with our significant other.
Yes. Oh, we could. Well, some of us can.
I'll do it with my significant other, and you have a movie.
I'll
day.
Zoom. Yeah. No, Palentine's is normally the 13th, I believe. It's Galentine's. That's what it is.
Because girl power.
Yeah. Well, you could celebrate that too.
I don't know when Palentine's would be celebrated. I would assume it would probably be on Valentine's Day, wouldn't it?
Oh, February 13th. It's the same as Galentine.
Oh, okay. Well, then Palentine.
It's basically the platonic soulmates in your life, which I feel like fits.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay, no confirmation on that one. That's fine. It's a little ego hit, but it's good. So anyway,
man.
I'll just go.
So other than your ego being hurt a little bit, how you
bruised? Yeah. Been okay. Yeah, it's winter, obviously, because it's February. January went by real fast.
Yeah.
Yeah, a little too fast. Am I insane? Like it kind of breezed.
So hear me out, okay? This is legitimately like I've thought this since I was a child, and maybe I'm just like way off in outer space on this one, but I legitimately think the first half of the year until my birthday goes so fast, and then it drags on afterwards.
Yeah, it's because you're waiting for your birthday to come back around.
But I'm not. Like, I'm not even, like, I don't even care. I don't celebrate it. I don't celebrate my birthday. I have
no, we celebrate your birthday for you.
Yeah, we do a fire, and that's it. Like, okay, cool. Like, I'm turning another year older. Like, I personally don't care. But
see, and I'm the opposite. We should talk about this more in depth at some point. Birthdays. I'm gonna put that on our list.
Make sure that's on our list.
You keep talking. I don't know.
I just personally think that the first half of the year just like goes by a lot quicker than the second half.
Except, do you know what doesn't though? Is March.
Well, okay, so there's a reason for that one. Yeah, it's because we're teachers and we have no breaks in March.
Like, we have one professional development.
For some people. We have 8 weeks straight of teaching kids, and it's 5 days. It's chaos is what it is. And the kids feel that, and we feel that. So I think that throughout that day, we should do like at least a couple mental health days for
throughout that month, you mean?
Yeah, sorry, throughout the month. I think that should be a very commonplace thing, but that's just me personally. Yeah.
Well,
that's my theory on the beginning of the year.
And on that note, I've been doing all right. Just sort of getting into the swing of winter. We here in the Northeast, we're in Maine. We're definitely not getting hit with as much snow as y'all are out in like Buffalo and the Midwest. Like, what is that? Yeah, well, I mean, we keep getting it and then we get rain. So, but no, we've been getting hit with some winter weather lately. I've had to wear a jacket to school.
You should wear a jacket throughout winter anyways, but that's probably
you should until it's 53 degrees. I'm not wearing my winter coat at 53 degrees. I'll overheat and die. Yeah. But like I normally wear like a light jacket, like a windbreaker or something. But lately I've had to wear like the coat and the hat, and you saw the hat today, the coat and the hat, and I wear gloves and like been like chilly.
Yeah,
it's been kind of nice because it's like winter feels weird when it's hot.
I also
So
think
how
that
you
we're
been?
used to
Oh,
it though. We're used to winter being
yeah,
cold and gross.
yeah.
But
So
yeah.
how you been?
Well, throughout winter, the mental health kicks in, and
Yeah, well,
it's a
Menti
struggle
bees.
sometimes. But overall, I'm not terrible at this very moment.
It's good.
Ask
It's
me,
good. It's good.
when there is less time with the sun and more snow on the ground,
Uh-huh.
and I'll probably have a
Well,
different
lucky
answer.
for you, the sun is getting out longer.
Thank
She's
goodness.
coming out more to play.
We like seeing
Hanging
her.
out
She's very
more.
pretty.
Yeah,
But
she's very pretty.
anyways, Valentine's
Speaking
Day.
of that vitamin D, let's talk about that Valentine's D. Anyway, do you like that segue? Do you like that segue? I'm
That
really sorry
was
to all the kids
good.
that are watching this.
No,
Thank
that was
you.
good. I was not ready for that one.
I think I'll put that on a card, like one of those
Speaking of
like.
that vitamin D, that was
Yeah.
solid. Okay, I
So
like that.
Valentine's Day. It's coming up today. Today, wild. This year it's a Tuesday, I believe.
Wednesday. Let me look.
Oh my God, Valentine's is a
It's a
Wednesday.
Wednesday.
What? What a drag. Like middle of the week Valentine's Day is just so wild to me because I don't know, especially for being teachers. There's like a big hoopla in the schools about Valentine's Day. You get hoopla in the high school?
Not even a little bit.
No, the kids aren't like all over each other.
No. I mean, like,
Really?
that's just common. Like, they're always all over each other. But,
Oh
like,
no, that's fair. That's fair.
during Valentine's Day, there's no big thing. Like those couples that have been together for a long time, they'll have a little bit of like, oh, this is my person and this is what they got me. One of those things. But
Yeah.
other than that, there's not a big
You
thing
know what
about it.
though? You know what's different is when we were this age, just a few years ago, but when we were this age, 10 now,
I was
where
gonna
we were
say
freshmen in high school.
it was well
Ew.
when you were a freshman in high school. It was more than 10.
11, so 12 for you, yeah.
It's been 10 years since or 8. What is it? I graduated in 2016, so it's been
Yep.
8 years since I
8
graduated.
years,
So it's
yeah.
been 13 years since I was a
12.
freshman. I started
12
freshman
years,
year
you're in high school.
in 2012. So it's been 11 years. 11, 12 years, whatever. Because it's 2024 now. So yeah, it's been 12 years. Math is hard, everybody.
So the 12 years that I said that you had been there, yes.
Correct.
Yes.
We have confirmed that it has been 12 years.
I know that because it's been 11 years for me.
Yeah.
Yeah. So anyway, no, but what was I gonna say? When we were in like freshman, sophomore, even junior, I feel like seniors don't because they got other things to worry about, like SATs and shit. But I mean, if they still even worry about that. But I know for us, we didn't have the whole like posting on like Instagram stories wasn't a thing. Snapchat was big. Instagram was fine. You posted your person, but like people weren't all over social media like they are right now.
Yeah.
Like the kids,
Yeah.
they don't like live their entire life on it.
Yeah.
And phones were banned for the most part for most of my
I was
classes.
gonna say all of my classes. You pull your phone out, you lost your phone.
Yeah, you lost your phone big time. There was no telling your teacher. Like if someone told my
I'm
teacher
texting my
that they
mom. No, you're not. Put it away.
no, you're not. I can see the contact information is main ho. You're not texting your mom.
Yeah, exactly.
If you are wild,
If you're
but
calling
like
your mom
kind
that,
of,
there's a problem.
you know what? Kind of a vibe though. If you have that relationship with your mom,
Okay, fine, but like,
but if you're just calling her that, yeah, no, probably a bad thing. But no, like when I was a kid, if a teacher told me when I pulled my phone out and I gave them attitude, like I sometimes get about it, that they were gonna call my mom, I would give them everything in my wallet to not have that happen. So anyway, no kids these kids these days, but
10 years ago.
get off my lawn. So I feel like it was bigger for our like age group because they wanted to post all the flowers and chocolates that they got on Valentine's Day, but they had to get them first.
Yeah, exactly.
Did you ever get candy canes, by the way, on Valentine's Day?
No, so what
Did you ever get chocolate?
My school, and this is terrible for people like me, but my school, we did carnations, like the flower things. So like you buy a specific color for a specific perfect person. So like it would be like red was love, and you would get a red rose, but it was a carnation. Pink was lust or crush or something like that. white was secret
I'm
admirer.
assuming it's not
It
lust,
wasn't
yeah.
lust. No, it was crush. Pink was crush, white was secret admirer, and yellow was friend. You want to know the flowers that I always got?
Yellow?
I got red from my parents. That's all the flowers I would ever get. It sucked. And I love my parents and I appreciate them, but damn, that was a ego hit if I have never heard one before.
And correct me if I'm wrong, your mom watches these?
Mom does, and Nana does, and my people does, and I love them all. But I love it.
Man, I can't wait for the comments
But
on
I
this.
tell you what, when I got it, I was super excited.
It's an ego
but
hit.
it hurt. It hurt a little bit when everybody else around me was getting these red flowers from each other, or like the pink ones, or the white ones. The white ones were crazy. You get a white one, and it's like, ooh, somebody got a crush on you.
Well, no, that's pink.
True, but it would be secret admirer. So
secret admirer. Yeah, I love that. No, we did.
You love
we did
that?
candy
Thank
hearts
you.
like the. I would have loved that.
Oh, I heard I loved that, and I was like, oh, you could. You hate.
I'd have. Yeah, I was doing a double contraction. My apologies. The mic didn't pick up my stuffy nose syllables, but no. We did like the chocolate. You know the chocolate hearts on a stick.
Yeah.
They were like, so like those things. We did Valentine's cookies one year. We usually did candy. And they would like I don't even remember what group it was, but they would like bring it around.
I think it was like
to the different classes.
I want to say it was like the seniors for us. It was senior fundraiser.
It was. I don't even remember who it was. It was a group anyway that did it, but I mean obviously. But you would buy them at lunch. They'd have like a table set up and you would go buy them and it was cash, whatever, because Venmo wasn't a thing at that point. And the first year I was here, so this is like so sad. Oh my god. So you could buy them and we didn't have the color flowers. We had chocolates were for this type. It was like chocolates for your partner, boyfriend, girlfriend, whatever. And then you could buy like candies for a friend. And you could buy chocolates for your friend, but it was assumed if you got a chocolate, it was from your boyfriend or girlfriend or someone that liked you. And I had a boyfriend. Guess who didn't get any chocolates? Guess whose best friend got chocolates? From her boyfriend.
Ooh.
Yeah, so that was fun. And I was like, he must have made a mistake. Do you want to know what our names both start with? Not J. Hers starts with an M. That's different. It's not even like a T that someone messed up. Anyway, so that was heartbreaking. And then Connor's never been big into that. He did his own thing. So in high school, because we started dating in high school, he would never buy into the school stuff because it was lame. He took me to Freeport one year because I had planned to go to Bangor and he had to one up me. So you've met Connor, you know that about him. But we went to Freeport and we did dinner at Johnny Rockets, and like that was better than anything I got at school. However, it was kind of nice when people would come in and be like, Jasmine, you got this many chocolates or roses or whatever. Like that would have been nice, you know?
You want to know the topping on
Show off to my
on
friends.
my Depresso Espresso in high school and in middle school for
your roses from your mom?
Yeah, well,
and
no,
dad?
I loved that. Like I said, I loved getting those because at least I knew I was going to get something. But the most Depresso Espresso thing that I had in my school career was the fact that my senior superlative, the thing that everybody does, you vote one person to get it, the nicest smile, funniest in the class, best athlete, which all of those I could have fit.
Most likely to start an argument.
Oh, you got that? I got Forever Alone.
Or most argumentative.
Yeah, I got Forever Alone. Some teacher straight up said, yeah, that's a good one. We'll let that one slide. Destroy this kid's ego and everything about his personal confidence that he already have. And then
who on the yearbook team?
Who what?
Decided who on the yearbook team was like, that's a dope idea.
I don't know.
Let's keep that
they 100% were one of my bullies. I guarantee that. And I'm calling you out if that was you, but like, damn, you came after me and like you stabbed me in the heart, and it still hurts. I'm gonna be honest, I still hurt.
Joke's on you, Justin. That actually wasn't a superlative. It was just one teacher that hated you that was like, this kid.
It probably was. Oh man.
What classes did you have that teachers didn't really
I
like
was
you
a
in?
pretty good kid, like, objectively, I was a pretty good kid. I did my work, I was
What about subjectively?
subjectively, I think there were only certain like, there was, like, 3 or 4 teachers that didn't really like my presence.
They
They
got
probably
together.
did, but it wasn't like they hated me. I was a pretty
Yeah,
well-liked kid.
no, that's fair.
But anyways, that was my espresso
No.
depresso in, my high school career, and my middle school career for that matter.
What's the word called? And it's not argumentative, it starts with a C.
That's not helpful at all.
I know. Keep talking. I'm gonna look it up.
Conversationalist? So yeah, today I know we haven't even talked about what we're actually talking about. Today we're gonna talk some Valentines. As you've heard, we covered the school stuff, and I think that the next best thing would be getting some positive in here because I have brought us all down, and I want to bring us back up.
Yeah, you really did.
um,
So
so
anyway,
I
what's your positivity you want to spit
I
in here?
think, and I'm gonna say this, mind you, everybody who's listening, I am married, so I'm not forever alone. I want to point that out right now. I am married.
I was there. I even know he's not even
Exactly.
lying. He didn't just put the ring on for
Exactly.
show. I was
Um,
there. I was a wit. I
I
got
was
to
gonna say
sign
you
the
were one of our
thing.
witnesses. But I want to
Uh
point
huh.
out that I am not forever alone. I'm just gonna clear that up right now. So
Proud of you.
yay,
How'd my
celebration.
thumb do that?
um, but inside of that relationship, there are like certain Valentine's days that I remember. And I'm not a big Valentine's Day celebrator. I think might have come from the fact that
You were
I
voted
was
forever alone.
not, yeah. Love was not my expertise, um, and still really isn't, if I'm being honest. But I had we had one Valentine's Day that I really remember, and I love it. And it wasn't anything bad or anything like sexual or anything like that. It was literally just the idea of being with her. We made a pizza. We made a
You sent me into a week-long spiral because of this friggin' Valentine's Day. It was so cute. And I brought the idea up to my husband, who at the time fiance, and he was like, I don't want to do that. Week-long spiral because of you people. Very
So we
adorable
made
though.
a
I saw the
heart-shaped
pictures. It was
pizza
cute.
that was cheese-filled crust, and it was like a bacon or something like that, whatever pizza it was. But we made a heart-shaped pizza. We sat on the couch and we watched the movie Free Guy or Fall Guy. It's a Free Guy,
Free
yeah.
guy.
Watched the movie Free Guy. Cuddled, the whole shebang. We didn't like it wasn't anything bad. It was a very nice and memorable moment.
This one, you were living at Granny and
No, that
Grampy's,
was
right?
here. That was at my house. That was our first one, I think, here. We did something similar, but it was
You did the pizzas. I was at your house that day. It was just a
yeah.
date night. That's what I was thinking of. That's what sent me into the spiral. The Valentine's Day didn't because I was over it
No,
by
the
then.
Valentine's Day was really cute, and
That the date
we got
night
a
sent
really
me.
nice picture of the pizza in the movie, and it was just a very aesthetic feeling,
It's
and it
adorable.
was very cute.
Yeah,
Now that I've said
it
my
is cute.
positive, what's yours?
Well,
Not going to be as wholesome.
so no, it's not even that's not as wholesome. We don't celebrate Valentine's Day very well. I like all the cutesy stuff. I want to do the doing the pizza and then the cuddling on the couch and whatever, and that's just
Yeah,
not who he is. He's a big I want to do the big
yeah,
grand gesture, and sometimes that's awesome, and sometimes I'm like, so I will say there was this one time in high school, and I'm sure it'll pop up on my memories, and I'll post. Maybe I'll do a for the picture. I'll post a video or a picture of it um, at some point. Connor got me. It was so cute. I still have the bear. Connor got me a little bear with the balloon, like one of those cheap
yeah.
little flowery ones with one single rose in it.
Oh, I know where this is going. Go on.
One single rose in it. And he bought me Chinese food from the place in Calais on his he so little backstory where we lived, very small town Maine. We were in Pembroke and Charlotte, for anybody that knows those places, way out down East Maine,
Out in the
out in the
boonies.
boonies. And Connor worked at the gas station in Pembroke. To get home, gas station is here. He had to. You can't see. I'm pointing at things unless we do the video of this. This is for video learners. Learners.
You're doing great.
video watchers, I guess. But so his job was at the end of the road, and we were both on the same road, just like 10 miles apart or something, 5 miles apart. And so he had to drive past my house to go to his. No biggie. But he went to Calais first on his way home at 9 o'clock at night to pick me up Chinese food because I'd had a rough day. Swim practice had not gone well, whatever it was, right? So he drove from his work out to Calais. You've been to my house, Justin. You know that it's like a hike out to Calais. And then came back to my house to drop stuff off before I got home. And then drove out back to his house. So like he made a bunch of different whatever. Keep in mind, this is high school. So it's like, we're not making a whole lot of money here. But he got me Chinese food and this rose and this little bear. And he wrote a letter. And I got home and I'd had like the shittiest day. And I was not in a good mood. And I go into my room. Mom wasn't home. She was at work. And there's Chinese food, my favorite things, and this bear and this letter that I still have in a wallet somewhere in your bedroom that you stay in when you're here. Somewhere there's a letter. And that's like one of my favorite Valentine's Day, that and the Freeport one, because it was just like this grand gesture for him to do something for me that he did not have to do. I mean, he could have taken me out on a date, but he chose to do this instead of just like providing. And that's like one of his acts of acts of love language is acts of service and gift giving. And that just, yeah. So I still have that bear. I think I still have the rose at my mom's house. It's dried out. It's with the boutonniere from prom that year. Junior year.
I think, and I think it's important to understand your love language and your partner's love language. Because if you don't, then you're doing gifts or you're not doing gifts or whatever, and it's not going to work. I know for me personally, I'm not a gift giver. Like that's just not my love language. I can't do it. I don't get how people do it. But I love to spend time with people. I love to do acts of service for people. Like those things I'm
You're
a big quality time guy. I'm not much of a gift giver. I do love receiving them, which makes me seem like selfish, but
no, but I get it because I like receiving them. I like giving them to certain people, but receiving them, it just is like, oh, somebody bought me something that like they know I would like.
So I think it's important to understand your partner and your own love language.
Yeah. So I told you my positive one. Can I tell you about the worst Valentines? We almost broke up over this. Well, I don't know if we almost broke up, but we had like a huge fight. Maybe I'm a little dramatic. So Connor and I were long distance in college. I want to preface this by saying this was at the apartment that we lived at together.
I was around, wasn't it?
Yes, you were aware. You consoled me while I sobbed violently. So for those of you that don't know, I'm going to give this little information. Justin is not a physical touch guy, except with his wife. Like he will physically touch, and like it's weird to watch, but not like in a gross way, but just like you're very physically touch okay with Darcy because she's your wife and like that's your person.
Years to
Justin and I don't. Years, yeah. No, when I knew you guys at the very start, it was a little weird to watch. Because she wanted touch and you were like, ooh, actually, I'll have to die.
It wasn't that bad, but like...
you catch me over it.
It wasn't great. Like...
It wasn't great. But no, but like, right, like watching you guys now, like you... It's almost like you enjoy it.
I do enjoy it.
Hugs and stuff. It's so weird. I know you do. But I mean, just like the physical touch part, not the person. But anyway... Justin and I... Excuse me. I'm so sorry. I had a little hiccup.
Hello, prepubescent Jasmine. How are you doing?
Which is so weird because usually women's voice don't change.
Oh,
it was a hiccup that came to attack. So anyway, Justin and I... It did, yeah. Justin and I, we like handshakes, like, whatever. We don't hug. We have... Justin has an allotment of hugs that I'm allowed to have every year.
5.
I'm at 5, I believe, that I'm allowed to have a year. Yeah. Except if I'm like super duper sad, then it's, a different thing. Like if I'm inconsolable, he'll pat me on the back.
Maybe on the forehead.
But after this event, Justin like came and sat in my room with me and like provided like an IEP, provided comforting gestures. And like, it was very weird. I don't know. It was just like it anyway.
I think
so.
And I'm going to just come
Connor and I had been planning.
That moment is more. For me. That's a act of service. It's
Act of
not even act of
service.
service. It's quality time
Uh-huh.
because I'm spending time with you as well.
Yeah. That's absolutely what it was for me too. It wasn't even just the the touch part was fine, but it was the quality. It was somebody taking time out of their day to
Yeah.
do something nice for me that they didn't have to do. Even though I know you're my friend and you wanted to, it was
Right.
like you didn't have to sit
Right.
there with me while I
I think
cried.
also
I was going to come to your room if you didn't come to
personally
mine,
also I
but
just have like that nature nurturing
caring nature. Yeah.
like personality, and that's not
Yeah.
like me trying to inflate my ego.
Yeah. After he beats the
Well, when
shit
I
out
do
of
that,
you.
it's out of caring too, honestly. But it is
Wow. That's what a
it
DV
is.
thing to say there. I'm
No,
only hitting
that's
you because
not
I
what
love
I
you.
said.
I'm only beating you up
All right, finish
because
your
I love
story.
you, okay? So, anyway, Connor and I, because we were super long distance, North Carolina to Maine, we had FaceTime as like our communication, right? So this Valentine's Day, we planned it out. We're really excited, blah, blah, blah. Well, I'm really excited. I don't know about him. But he kept not answering my texts and not answering my phone calls and like not responding to me all day. And I was like, respond to me. Because I get anxious and I think he's died in a ditch somewhere. Turns out he was just out with his friends. So we have a scheduled time. We're going to FaceTime at 6. We're going to have dinner together. Like we were supposed to have takeout or whatever. It didn't even matter. We were just going to have dinner together and we were going to like celebrate
Yeah.
Valentine's Day remotely. And he at 6:00 texted. He was like, "Hey, I'm still stuck in the lab. Like I'm still stuck on campus," is what he said. It was very whatever. Still stuck on campus. I'm going to be a little while. And I was like, okay. What does a little while look like? Because you got out of classes 2 hours ago and you don't have a job on campus. So what are you doing on campus? And it turned out he was at a friend's apartment or dorm or something like that. And they were driving him home because they had driven him there. And so he was waiting for a ride. And I was like, that's super fine. But like, why would you decide to go over if you knew you had plans? Whatever. Moving on. So I was getting more and more kind of pissed off. I think you and Kevin were there and kept like coming in the living room. And I was just like, because I had my food ready to go and I dared to eat in one plate and it was quite sad. And I'm on my second plate and I'm like on my phone. And we were supposed to do like, you know what's really funny? We were supposed to do the love languages quiz.
I do remember that. Yeah.
Because that was super big at that time. It was right before the world shut down for COVID, which was really great for our mental health in our relationship.
In yours and Connor's. Okay.
Connor and I. This Valentine's Day. We did great, I think. Considering everything, like we were able to talk about a lot when all was said and done. But it took a while to it took Connor.
We just did not.
I think it took Connor and Darcy going, "You two need to talk like adults." You know, whatever. But anyway, so Connor finally gets on and it's like 8:00. So it's now like 2 hours past. And he's like rushing and he doesn't really want to be doing this because he wants to go to a frat party or something. I think it was like anyway, wanted to go somewhere and I was getting kind of pissed off. And I was like, I'm like tearing up thinking about this because I'm so mad still. But it was like, we planned this all out and you agreed to this and you don't care about this. And this is big for me because I don't get to see you ever. You're, 17 hours away from me and like, you know who I'm with. I'm with the same 3 people I live with. That's all I hang out with. And and I don't know. So it was a whole thing. So then I said, hey, I'm sending you a link. Can we do this love language quiz? And he was like, I don't want to do that. I'm not going to do it. And I was like, but it would be nice if we could, because I would love to know. Those are stupid. I'm not going to do them. That's like the dumbest thing I've ever heard of. And it just like every hit, it was like, it was attacking me personally, which I know now as an adult, like a real adult, that it wasn't, but man, that hurt. And we got into like a big fight over it. And it was like a whole big thing. I don't even remember what the fight itself was about, but it ended up with me crying on the phone saying like, I feel like you're not valuing my time or whatever. This got really dark. Rip. But we're fine now. We're married now, so
fine. But
we're fine. It turned out fine. I think I went to bed, but like, it was basically I gave him an ultimatum of like, I need you to cancel going to this frat party that you do not have to go to. You are choosing to go to on Valentine's Day. Famously, where drunk women go and feel drunk men up. Maybe we don't go. And it's not that I don't trust Connor. I don't trust drunk college women at North Carolina State University because I went to those frat parties at that university. They didn't give two shits who you were with. I wasn't physically there, or like another, you know what I mean? Like a person wasn't physically with him.
Right.
He was single, for all they cared. And Connor is great about being like, no, you dirty piece of trash. I have a girlfriend at home that I love very much. Get away from me. Like, he's great about it. But I still didn't want to have that, happen and him have to deal with it. And it's just, a boundary thing. So we had this big fight and we went to bed. And the next day I was still crying about it. And that's when you consoled me as I was violently sobbing in bed, thinking that my world had just ended. And then like 2 weeks later, I flew down to see him and the world ended. This was also around the time that maybe someone was seeking out a diagnosis for ADHD and emotional disorders.
It was a busy time. So like there's a lot going on.
So,
I think
that was my worst Valentine's Day ever.
Big deal, but I mean, it's the thing to. Yeah. No, you're fine.
It was a really long story.
Like,
I apologize.
Comes out of it though is that you guys were able to work through it, and that's important in a relationship as well. So.
Yeah.
I don't really have.
What was your worst Valentine's?
Like I said, my
I shared that whole thing just for you to say you don't have one.
One, Valentine's Day isn't like a big deal for me because like if we're gonna do something, like say we're doing a date on Valentine's Day, why can't that be any time we do a date? In my head, that's how it works. So,
well, because it's pink. You're supposed to wear pink.
It's not always Wednesday.
And red.
You only wear pink on Wednesday.
Did you like doing Valentine's Day at school when you were a kid?
Well, I did because I got
the bags
things,
where everybody came and brought them in.
Gift giving. I like receiving gifts. I'm not much of a gift giver. But I also know that it was a stressful situation for me and my family, so I didn't like that. But I think, I mean, I don't know. Valentine's Day, it depends on who you're with and what it is. It doesn't always have to be a romantic thing. Like we were talking about at the top of the episode, like it legitimately can be a pal. Like it's a Valentine's Day. There's no problem with that. Look,
your parents buying you a rose at school. I'm sorry. I love your parents very much. That is
now that I'm
a little funny.
13, 14 years out from getting those, hilarious. Well, 12 when I was a freshman.
12.
I got them in middle school as well. So, there's that.
That, honestly, a little worse.
The prime time to be bullied is in middle school. I was that kid. Oh, I truly was, because I moved in late, so I didn't grow up with the kids. Like, it was a whole situation. I'm not going to get into this. I went to Presque Isle. Like, I went to Presque Isle first.
Okay,
and then in 4th grade, I moved to Washburn. I don't know.
How did I not know that?
I definitely
you've told me that before, and I just maybe interrupted you.
But yeah, so
do you know what I hated getting as a kid? So in those, because we would do like the Valentine's bags, where we would decorate them. I hated when you would buy like those what are they called? The Valentine's packs, where you like they just have all the different sayings on them, whatever. They're meant for classrooms, right? And the snooty girls or whatever would always find like the ugliest one, or they would draw on it to make it uglier. I don't know if that ever happened to you, but they would friggin' draw on it and make it uglier. And I'd always get these. I'd get like really nice ones for my friends, like not to discount what my friends did, and I'm sure they're not listening, but they could. But when they would give me them, they'd be like, they'd find the funniest ones, whatever, and that made sense. But mean girls and mean kids, bullies in general, who, if you brought in a Valentine for someone, you had to bring one in for everyone, kids who would make mean things on their Valentine just so that they could do it. It was like, I'm going to go home and have a crisis about this. And you're just going to go home and play on your trampoline. And that just sucks. Like, I assume they all have trampolines, but, a lot of them were dealing with their own trauma.
I mean,
whatever, but, anyway, that or pixie sticks. Don't give me pixie sticks for Valentine's Day. I love pixie sticks. I don't love 45 pixie sticks. I had a class of 30 kids when I was in elementary school.
Class?
Like my singular 5th grade, Miss Flores' 5th grade was like 29 kids.
Class.
And then the other 5th grade, the other 5th grade class had 27 or 30.
Yeah, you'd get a lot. Yeah, exactly.
I grew up in a city school.
I think just
so
I think personally Valentine's Day is more. It gets better. It gets better. But like when you find that partner, or even
it gets better because the expectations
and it's not a big deal if you don't get things from your friends. Like that's, to me, the Valentine's Day in school is kind of a prime, like it really sets you up for failure.
Set you up for
failure.
You're
talking about, they never got me Valentine's Day cards unless they had to, unless their parents were like, oh, you have to get everybody something. Otherwise, they weren't going to give you something.
Yeah, if you buy, that was a classroom rule. If you got one for one person, you had to get one for everybody.
But like, it's just kind of one of those things that, you know, it's annoying. I personally don't like celebrating it in my classroom. Valentine's Day to me is just another day unless I'm celebrating with Darcy. So that's my personal take on it.
Weird. Yeah. Weird and in love over there. No, we celebrate because I'm in elementary school class, so we're making boxes in a couple of weeks. All the teachers get each other Valentine's, so it is kind of nice. So like last year I got a duck. We all got rubber duckies from one of our teachers, and that's last year was one of my favorite Valentines in a school because it was my kids all got me the very personalized ones, and they wrote me Valentine's Day cards because it was my first year. Like it was really sweet. I can understand why Valentine's Day in a health class with your age group might spark some interesting conversations.
Then fine, but otherwise, nah.
You know what though? Sorry, I'm playing with a quarter. I apologize.
Well. Yes.
You can probably hear that real loud and clear. Yeah, sorry, my bad. But Valentine's Day, you could spark some really good conversations as they're leaving. Of like, don't add to the population.
I do that anyways. Like, if I'm being honest, that's one of my spiels.
Yeah. Don't take from the population. Don't add to the population.
Productive part of the population.
So good.
Yeah, just go home.
You know what? Just go home. Actually, so just go home. Lock your doors.
I hope that everybody has a good Valentine's Day, and I want to hear your guys' Valentine's Day dream days or horror days, either one. I love hearing stories about your guys' best or worst. And
I want to know your favorite Valentine's.
Maybe we'll do a snacks episode.
Walmart sugar cookies.
Yep.
The soft
frosting
ones
on top. Yeah.
I could eat 3 boxes of those. Ow!
But yeah, so she's gonna go put an ice pack on her head, and we are gonna sign off. So we'll see you in the next one. When
yes.
Oh yeah,
Justin,
y'all
can
find
me
you at TSK 1239 on almost all social media platforms, and you can also find my YouTube channel at TSK 1239. And then Jasmine, where can they find you?
You can find me at Asminstah, ASMINSTAH. I don't know why it is. And if you can't spell that, say it into your Google. It might pop something up. On TikTok and Instagram. I saw a couple of people followed me on Instagram, which is pretty cool. Don't know if they're from the show, but they just started following me and I don't know them. So nice. I'm going to make assumptions. But yeah, you can find me over there. And eventually I will have my YouTube set up. It'll be cooking videos and some gaming. But it's coming.
Yeah, so we'll see you all in the next one. I hope you have a great Valentine's Day or Palentine's Day. And we'll see you in the next one. Peace out.
Peace.